Greetings and welcome to No Man's Sky. So this is an open world survival craft exploration game that was put out by Hello Games, I think in 2016, and they're still releasing content for it. As a matter of fact, they released a companions update about 2 months ago, I think it was. But I've had my eye on this game for a while and finally decided to pick it up. I've seen some videos on it to see if it was a type of game I was interested in, and it is. It has a lot of similarities to Minecraft. First off is the procedural generation. The worlds, the animals, the plants, all of that is procedurally generated. Even the music in the background is procedurally generated, but we're not hearing any right now on this screen. But as you walk around the planet, the music will be procedurally generated based on like the environment and what's going on. Another aspect to it is how open the game is. I got this about 2 weeks ago and put about 50 hours into it so far. I was originally going to try recording my initial playthrough just like I did with Subnautica. Not quite initial playthrough on Subnautica. I did do a couple of games to get familiar with it, but I just found myself so absorbed into the game, I just wanted to play, and it took me a while before I decided to go ahead and try recording a playthrough. Because the game is just absolutely amazing. I mean, it's so beautiful. There's a storyline, and I haven't even gotten really to the storyline. I don't think I'm just still in the tutorial, even with the 50 hours I've been playing, because I've started multiple games to play around. But the one of the first things in the tutorial is eventually they want you to go off to the planet you're on. I spent 20 hours on my first planet just wandering around exploring, just because of how amazing it was to me. But yeah, I've had a lot of fun so far. I figured I'd share a playthrough with you, and I kind of wish I'd recorded some of that other stuff because some things happened that I kind of wish I could have shared with people, and I'll mention them later. But the most striking similarity to me between it and Minecraft has to do with the developer, Hello Games. Just like with Mojang, there is no DLC. Are no microtransactions, and they are continuing to update the game. So once you buy this game, all of the additional content comes with it. When they release another update, or like when they release a companions update, people who bought the game back in 2016 have every update they've released up till now. And that just shows me that those developers have a passion for this project, that this is a work of love, that they really enjoy making this game great and don't want to off-put people with paywalls, apart from initially buying the game to help support their development of it. But it's just amazing. This game is absolutely beautiful, as when we jump in you'll see. Now there are 4 game modes. There's normal, and I have not even touched normal. The minute I saw survival, I gravitated toward it because that's kind of how I play Minecraft. I don't play on like the peaceful mode. I play on survival. There's a permadeath mode that is a lot like hardcore in Minecraft. If you die, your save is deleted. There's no respawning. And then there's a creative mode, just like Minecraft, where you just explore and create freely. But survival, now I haven't played normal to know for sure, but what I got from looking at like beginner's guide videos and the way they explained it to me, is that survival, it has a little bit more urgency in it than normal does. You can be a little bit more relaxed in normal. And survival challenge says it has more hazards, smaller inventory, and increased cost. Now by the more hazards, I don't know if that means necessarily there's more hostile things out there, or if they're doing more damage and take more damage to take out. But I do know, from what I understand, the environment is more of a threat. The smaller inventory isn't actually that your inventory is smaller, it's just that your stack sizes are smaller. And I'm a bit of a pack rat, as anybody who's seen my previous playthroughs of games can know, and I'm hoping the challenge of a smaller inventory will help me curb that a little bit. It probably won't. That's kind of something that's kind of core to the way I am. I'm a bit of a hoarder. And the costs are more expensive. So if I want to buy things like, say, a new ship or stuff like that, then it's going to cost me, I have to get more credits or units, I believe they're called. But we're going to jump in here into a survival game. And there's two main needs you have to satisfy during the course of these games. The first is hazard protection. Just about every world you're on has some sort of hazard, and you have to keep your hazard protection up to be able to survive. The other is life support. Now that has kind of a slight continuous drain, but the more active you are, the faster it will drain. And so we're going to jump in here and start a game, and right after this initial cutscene I'm going to pause it to discuss a few more things.
Commencing Atlas system suit initialization. Life support systems activated. Shield kinetic system online. Scanner damaged. Repair required. Aerial propulsion jetpack online. Multi-tool and mining laser attachment operational. User initialization sequence complete.
Alright, got a frost world. Now, first thing, I'm going into photo mode. This pauses the game. You can actually look around a little bit just fine while the game is paused. Let's see, there's a bit of a cave over here, I think. Yep. Alright, that's where I'm going to be heading first, because in survival mode your hazard protection drops really quick. There's some sodium behind me. There's some oxygen right there. But yeah, now that I can initially see that, there are two ways to pause the game. One is this way, and the other is to hit the escape key and bring up this option. The options and discovery tab, catalog, and all of that, your log, all of this will pause. The game is paused while you're in this menu.
Thermal protection fully.
But yeah, as you can see, external temperature dangerously low. And they want me to activate the scanner to locate sodium. Alright, so if you're in a shelter, like a building or cave or your ship, you're protected from the environment. Otherwise, you've got to worry about your hazard protection. It's going to be going down almost constantly on most worlds. And then you have your life support, which goes down when you move, more when you sprint, and a lot when you use your jetpack. Now, activate the scanner and locate sodium, and use sodium to recharge your thermal protection. The scanner is critically damaged. I need ferrite dust to repair it. And I have to gather ferrite dust by shooting small rocks with my mining beam. Okay, that gives cobalt. I'm going to have to come out of the cave to get most of that, but I want to bring up my inventory. Now, in this screen, the game is not paused. Stuff is still going on around you. Creatures can attack you, and your hazard protection is still dropping. But As you can see, this is my inventory spaces. Now in survival, I can only carry like stacks of 250 in each of these slots, or I can also have my technology installed, but I have a separate technology tab, so I'm going to move this stuff to the technology tab so that it frees up this, the general tab for equipment, for loot. And then I have a couple of cargo slots. Now these will hold up to 500 stacks of 500 of most things. Now when it comes to recharging your hazard protection, you can recharge it with sodium nitrate, or an ion battery. Sodium is the least effective. Sodium nitrate is more effective at recharging it, and the ion battery, it takes one ion battery to bring it all the way to full. And usually I have an easier time finding the ingredients for an ion battery than I do finding sodium starting out. Life support requires either oxygen, life support gel, or dioxide. Oxygen is the least effective. Life support gel is the most effective. One of them will bring it all the way to full. And the dioxide is kind of in between. And once again, I usually have an easier time getting the components for life support gel over oxygen. This life support gel requires this dihydrogen jelly and carbon. And the ion batteries just require cobalt and ferrite dust. So I'm actually going to collect a little bit of cobalt while I'm down here. I'd like to get about 50 before I head back out there and get the ferrite dust. And as you can see, you can actually mine from a pretty good distance. You do less damage the farther away you are, but you can still mine fairly well. And the hotter your weapon gets, the more damage it does, so the faster you end up mining. And I just found a geode, which I can crack open, and it gave me ionized cobalt. So I've got about 50 cobalt. I'm good. And these guys are hazardous, but they provide sodium or oxygen. But you don't want to get too close to them. And these are very valuable. Now these will only stack to about 5. They'll stack to 10 in my cargo slots. But they sell for 5,800 units each, whereas most of this other stuff, well, cobalt's pretty valuable, 200 units each almost. But I'm going to put those in my cargo tab, just in case I find more. And we're going to go get us some ferrite dust. And it's these little rocks here that give it. That's not a rock. Now, all of these nodes eventually respawn in a couple of days. So, later in the game, when you go into base building, you can actually plant bases near good mining places and just revisit them every few days to be able to mine at them. Now, I'm actually getting a chunk of ferrite because I'm going to need it. Now, my hazard protection is still dropping while I'm on here, but I'm going to repair my scanner.
Component repaired. Technology repaired.
And now they want me to use it to find sodium. Now sodium are these... They didn't show up. There. Okay. Sodium are these glowing yellow plants, and oxygen are these red plants. And these plants are deuterium-rich plants. When you use them, you have unlimited jump jets for a while, and they don't drain your life support while you use them. Alright, so I just got a handful of sodium and recharge my hazard protection
Technology recharge.
and progress the story. Alright, reach the marked signal.
Falling.
It is 548 units away. Alright, before I go that way, the first thing I want to do is I saw a little cargo drop over here I want to get. These things have loot inside of them. Some carbon, some sodium, some condensed carbon. Now this is a health pack. If you look up at the top left, you'll see my shield and little health bars. The shield will regenerate. The health bars won't. You have to find those little white containers to regenerate it. Alright, now, I had seen a deuterium-rich plant. Where was it? Right there. Alright, now, you can auto-walk while you're crafting or whatever. But what I want to do is get over here, and I'm going to make some batteries.
Thermal protection falling.
I can only make one because I don't have enough ferrite dust.
Product
Okay.
constructed.
Alright, so I need a little bit more ferrite dust before I take off. Alright, let's make a couple more batteries. And we'll get more ferrite dust along the way. Well, there's some more right there. Because I'd like to have 5 batteries.
Thermal protection falling.
I need one more thing of ferrite dust. Oh, need more than that.
Thermal protection falling.
And my weapon is out of charge. Now, I need to get back into that cave. Actually, no, I'll just go ahead and use a battery.
Extreme cold damage detected. Technology recharge.
Alright, so I've got my thermal protection recharged with sodium, actually. I'm going to recharge my mining beam a little bit. And we are going to jet this way. Oh, well, there's another cargo drop. And these containers usually have equipment in them. And let's grab the pulpy roots. And it's a good idea to harvest a few things on your way. I'm going to need more ferrite dust. And I'll grab some more condensed carbon for recharging my mining laser. And some dihydrogen, because I'm going to need that.
Thermal protection falling.
These worlds are so beautiful too. Like I said, even the music is procedurally generated. Alright, that gives me a handful of supplies. We can keep moving. We're not that far. We can actually see the place.
Thermal protection falling.
And you can actually wait till your shields are almost down to recharge your thermal protection. Gives you a little bit more use out of your batteries and such.
Extreme cold damage detected.
I love the way the hazard effects kind of affect your vision.
Extreme cold damage detected.
Just 200 units to go.
Extreme cold damage detected.
Alright, I'll go ahead and recharge this with a battery.
Battery recharged. Thermal protection falling.
Alright, there's some oxygen plants. There's a ship, so we can hide in the ship to recharge. And of course, there's our quest objective, the signal source. And I'm not sprinting much or using my jetpack much because life support, like I said, sometimes it was hard for me to find enough oxygen to keep my life support active. Alright. Now when you're in these type of interaction screens, acting with an NPC, with a piece of machinery, or with the refiner, which we're about to make, the game is not paused, but you are unaffected by the world. So my hazard protection's not dropping, my life support's not dropping, and I'm not going to be attacked by anything. Alright, scenario, iteration 231187661T deleted. Boundary separation failure likely. Vessel 16 emptied. Cause Sentinel intervention. Deliberate transfer. Analysis, fresh iteration generated. Anomaly containment prepared. Anomaly containment prepared. Broadcast received. Traveler anomaly detected. Anomaly is compliant. Position logged. System integrity scan initialized. Alright, investigate the crashed ship. Now if I bring up this and look at my log, it also says crash site may hold valuable clues as to what's happened. It should contain salvageable items. So before I jump in the ship, I'm going to salvage any of these containers around here. Sodium, more sodium. Alright, now these damage containers, you have to remove these components and scrap to open. So this is going to take up a slot in my inventory until I can deal with it. And I'm actually going to put that in my high capacity inventory. And while I was on that screen, the game was basically paused. And the same goes for these damaged machinery. You know, until I get ready to move this, nothing is happening to my character. Alright, got some nanites out of that. And this container has some condensed carbon. Now this container I can't open yet. You've got to have an Atlas pass to be able to open it, and you get those later in the game. Alright, so let's board the ship. Alright, iteration 24G online. Atlas connection, intermittent. Launch thrusters, offline. Pulse engine, offline. I find myself alone on a strange world, unequipped and in danger. I have no memory of how I got here, no sense of a before. But this ship at least seems to recognize me. The controls react to my touch, or at least to that of my exosuit. I am not dead yet, and this ship is a lifeline out to the stars. Log 4925A unavailable. Substituting data. Exosuit connected. Suggestion: pilot should perform maintenance. Select a desired repair path. Self-guided repair protocols initiated. Pulse engine critically damaged. Now the pulse engine is my space and atmospheric flight engine. I require a hermetic seal and metal plating. And the launch thruster is also critically damaged. Alright, so they want me to hop out, but I'm going to wait here in the ship until my thing is repaired, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to move some of this other stuff in the ship around, because it also has a general and a technology tab, but these slots will hold stacks of 500 in the ship. So I'm going to move the rocket launcher and the pulse cannon, and I'll move the deflector shield down here, and I can't move these right now because they require repair. Alright. Collect ferrite dust, craft metal plating to repair the pulse engine. Alright. And I crafted in this tab. You can just click on any empty spot to craft, and I'm going to craft the metal plating. Now I patch the metal plating onto the pulse engine. I can do that without getting in the ship. Right there. My next step is board the ship and consult the diagnostics. Alright, iteration 4924G, functional. Starship critically damaged, vital ingredients missing. Unable to synthesize required components, pulse engine requires hermetic seal. Recommendation, iteration comparison reveals hermetic seal nearby. Salvage planetary chart from distress beacon cache. Alrighty, so we'll hit this distress beacon. Appear inside the beacon's housing, as well as its distress broadcast unit. It contains a planetary chart. Now, the planetary charts, it says it will have the coordinates of a nearby distress signal.
Alert. Navigational data received.
I see two ships flying near us too. So we're not completely alone on this world, but they're not going to help us. Yeah, they just flew on past like they didn't care. Alright, so we are 882 meters or units away from them. So we're going to head that way. And this is going to take a while. But we get to check out this lovely world. That is a hazardous plant right there. You don't want to get too close to them. More dihydrogen. Alright, a deuterium-rich plant there. So once we grab it, we should be able to jetpack for quite a bit.
Weather warning. Incoming storm. Protection fully.
Oh, keep walking. Alright, so we're about to have a blizzard hit us. And we are still over about 500 units away. Seek shelter in caves. Charge your hazard protection with sodium.
Extreme cold damage detected.
There's the oxygen. Yeah, these storms, they're kind of nice. I like how loud they are, and I like how much they obstruct your view. These things are really impressive to me. another battery when I was that close, but that's why I made the batteries, so I could just keep proceeding down here. Now, I've already gotten my life support down pretty low. That storm is still going on, as you can see above my thing. It'll let you know that there's a storm outside. Now, these first aid stations, if I'd taken any health damage, would restore that. Oh, check my stock transfer. Get some units. Alright, so the storm is finally clearing up. Alrighty. So we got some more damaged machinery here. And this has Facium. Gave us some more nanites.
Thermal protection 40.
Now, this world doesn't look half bad. I kind of like it. Ooh, what is that? He's got like some bioluminescence going on him. Alright, so going in here,
Temperature levels stabilizing.
this should be my quest objective. Yeah, that hollow archive. Before I hit that, I want to make sure there's nothing else in here. And it doesn't look like it. Oh, wait, yeah, there's an encyclopedia. Universal Language Database. Terminal online. Universal Translation Services reached. Lifeform Dictionary available. Let's learn a new word. You've learned the Viking word for Viking. Alright. Accessing archive. 6 out of 7 logs corrupted. Entry 4924A follows. No one making this recording in case leaving behind in the fabricator might be of some use. Visor damaged. Can't find ship. The log finishes and the machine whirs to life, spitting out supplies. I have the hermetic seal I need to repair my ship. Whoever it was that led me here, whoever left this message, perhaps they found themselves in the same situation as I do now. Alright, now that icon that popped up in the bottom right was my inventory capacity. The more full it gets, the higher up that bar is, so you can tell when your inventory is getting close. So now I need to return to my starship. Only, where is it? Well, they want you to use your analysis visor to locate your starship. Analysis visor requires installation. Alright, so I need a carbon nanotube. Let's get back inside. Alright, so we can install the analysis visor on our multi-tool, basically. I'm actually going to move some stuff around. I'm going to move the mining beam down here and install it right there. Alright, so it requires carbon nanotubes. Now, I've already got the carbon I need to craft it. I just picked it up on the way. So I can make some carbon nanotubes. Requires 50 carbon. And install my visor. Now they want me to test the visor. Now when you bring up your visor, it will give you little waypoints for different points of interest. And of course things like your ship, you can still see with the visor off once you have a visor. And it also allows you to scan things, like this unidentified biological entity. And you'll receive units for everything you scan. And you can scan every type of mineral. If I can target anything, I guess I'm too far away. Alright, that'll work. But yeah, almost everything on the world can be scanned. Anything that comes up with question marks hasn't been scanned yet, and you want to scan as many things as you can. And basically just kind of look around here until you don't see anything with question marks, and that means you've scanned everything you possibly could.
Thermal protection fully.
There's flyers overhead. Two different species of them. There's another creature. Alright, so we found 4 of the 8 species on this planet. Let's hop back in here and recharge our thermal protection. Now, if you go into escape and look at your discoveries, like right now I have 4 of 8 creatures scanned. You know, you can see all the different creatures that you've scanned. You can find out the ones you're missing. This one is ground, that one's ground, then these 2 are underground. And if you get all of them, you get bonus nanites. Now there's 3 currencies. There's units, which you use to buy most things. Nanites, which are used to buy technology upgrades, either recipes or upgrade class for like your ship and your tool, your multi-tool. And Quicksilver, which I think is primarily for like cosmetics. But yeah, if you look at this, it doesn't tell you how many different minerals or flora there are, but you can still look through and see the ones you have scanned. Later on in the game, you get exploration quests that'll let you know how many you're missing on a world. But yeah, the common flora, common fauna, regular patrols of sentinels, and the weather is frost. And these are the common resources for this planet. And the system is a nano-construction satisfactory economy. Conflict level is testy, and the dominant life form are the Viking. Now if we go here, everything has a class, and usually things with classes can be upgraded. So like this tool is class C, that's the lowest class. It can be upgraded to B, then to A, and then finally to S, which is superior class. Starships also have classes. The ship I left behind was a class C. And upgrades, which I don't believe I have any yet, also will have classes. But we can start heading back to our ship now and keeping an eye out for things to scan along the way. And let's go ahead and grab these sweet roots. Now, the dihydrogen is the same on every world and you can't really scan it. But the sodium plants and the oxygen plants and the deuterium plants, even though they look the same on every world, can still be scanned separately on every world. There's the sodium plant. And you can keep moving around. You don't even have to keep that thing in your visor while you got the button down and are scanning it. Just do a quick scan around. Oh, there's something. Alrighty. Got a long walk back to our starship. We can enjoy the scenery on the way. There's the oxygen plant. And you can also find out, with the exception of like the oxygen plant and the sodium plant. You can find out if something's been scanned or not usually by mousing over it. It'll say unidentified instead of giving you a name for the object. That not every hazardous flora is scannable. You can also set waypoints so you can see the stuff when you're not in the scanner. I'm going to backtrack to this machinery because I'm not sure if I looted it. And there's that health restorative. I did not. More nanites. Quite a bit of loot here, actually. Didn't mean to hit the scanner. I meant to grab the rusted metal out of here. And let's go ahead and get some condensed carbon. There's something unidentified. I just saw something. There it is. Is it that white rock? Now some of these, they may look almost identical, but there's still something separate to scan. Like these two white rocks could be entirely different. And animals you've scanned will have the green paw print. Animals you haven't scanned will have a red dot. Now that unidentified plant life is scannable. Maybe I just didn't have the right angle last time. I think I'm only missing the underground creatures at this point. I've looted that one. I hit that one on the way through. And I looted that one because, as you see, it doesn't have an icon letting me know about the drop above it. Alright, my weapon's depleted. Now, the most effective way to is condensed carbon is better than carbon for recharging them. There's another damaged machinery along the way. Now another thing is, if you look at the top right, you'll get your coordinate location while you're got your visor up. And that's the easiest way to remember where something is to copy down the coordinates. Because like these markers, like that buried technology module, if I want to come back and get it, I can't, even if I've been right on top of it, I can't see that from very far away. Unless I've got it highlighted like that, I won't see it from a big distance. And if I like leave the system or mark something else, it ceases to be marked. So yeah, until you get like beacons you can leave at certain locations, just keeping up with coordinates is your best bet for remembering where stuff is. So like if I want to come back and revisit this area, I just kind of got to remember the coordinates. Thankfully I'm recording so I can go back into my video and see the coordinates when I first looked in the visor at that place back there. if I wanted to come back and get the anything that required like an Atlas pass when I got the Atlas pass. But yeah, this is a pretty impressive world so far. Oh, that gives dioxide. Cool. And it didn't look like it required an advanced... Yeah, it does require an advanced mining tool. There's a couple more of those hazardous plants. And I did not... There's a deuterium-rich plant. I haven't scanned it yet. I walked right past one. Oh, I guess I have scanned the deuterium-rich plant. And there's some frostwort. I may not be able to harvest them, actually. Okay, no, I hadn't scanned it. Something was blocking my view earlier. Something is still blocking it. That stupid lizard. Oh, I hadn't finished scanning it. Alright, these things... Nope, I require a hazmat gauntlet to be able to retrieve them. I need to recharge my life support. And my hazard protection. I've got some sodium nitrate. Is actually more effective than the sodium. And I actually should have just sprinted down here and gotten in there rather than spending my sodium, but too late now. Alright, so let's repair the pulse engine with the hermetic seal. Alright, the launch thruster requires dihydrogen jelly and pure ferrite. Now the dihydrogen jelly, you would make that, they would instruct you to make that out of crafting. It takes 40 dihydrogen to make it in your inventory. But I had picked up some from one of the loot containers, so I get to skip that step. It's already made. And there's an unidentified plant. And now I have to repair the launch thrusters. I have to gather ferrite dust from these rocks right in front of me. Okay, that one also gives sodium. Yeah, once you are able to scan these things, you'll get the secondary elements out of them as well. Like this one gives dioxide. Perfect. And this one gives sodium. That's sufficient. I can create a metal plating and make a refining station or portable refiner. Alright, so I got a portable refiner, and it also required oxygen. Now, while you're on this screen, just like interacting with the boxes, your hazard protection is not going down, animals won't attack you. So I have to fuel the portable refiner, and the most efficient fuel is actually the condensed carbon. So I'm going to put that in there. And I need to gather more ferrite dust. There we go. And I can put that in the input here. I just need 50 of it. And refine it into pure ferrite. It's only going to take about 12 seconds to do this. This is fairly quick, so there's no reason to exit out. But if you have long refining to do, the refiner continues whether the game is paused or not. So you can actually go to your Discovery tab and be looking at things with the game paused, and the refiner will continue running in the background. Alright, so now I need the pure ferrite. And I can repair the launch thrusters.
Component repaired.
Alright. All systems functioning. Pick up your portable refiner and jump in the ship. But before I do that, actually I'm just going to interact with the portable refiner, because that'll keep me from taking damage. There are other things I have I can refine. Namely, this residual goop will refine into viscous fluids. And it's going to take about 2 minutes, so I'm actually going to hop in here to recharge my shields, but I'm also going to bring up this real quick. Yeah, if you go to the catalog and look at raw materials. Alright, carbon will refine into condensed carbon. 2 carbon becomes 1 condensed carbon. When it comes to fueling something, carbon is 1% recharge, condensed carbon is 3% recharge. So it's better to refine your carbon before you start using it as fuel. Ferrite dust refines into pure ferrite, which refines into magnetized ferrite. You know, sodium will refine into sodium nitrate. Cobalt will refine into ionized cobalt. Yeah, you can just stick things in there to figure it out. But the 2 main things you'll be picking up, this rusted metal, one of them will refine into ferrite dust. So it's another source of ferrite dust, and you can refine the ferrite dust into pure ferrite. Ferrite dust is worth 14 units, pure ferrite's worth 28, and then the magnetized is worth 82, but it takes 2 of these. So it goes from like 56 units to 82 units. So I usually take my rusted metal and just refine it all the way to magnetized ferrite to sell or use. And the residual goop refines into viscous fluids, which refines into living slime, which refines into runaway mold, and then 5 of these become 1 nanite by refining. So all of this junk you find, you can eventually just basically get it all the way down. Now my shields weren't recharging while that screen was paused. You can basically refine it all the way down, and now that these are repaired, I can move them. And the refiner just finished. Alright. So we can refine these further into living slime. It'll take another 2 minutes, and I will probably need more fuel. So I'll just put all of my condensed carbon in there. And organize my inventory a little bit while it is doing that. Let's see, I've got cobalt, ionized cobalt. See, that is something I'm going to sell. That is something I'm going to sell. That is something I'm going to sell. Yeah, these things sell 800 units each, 800 units each, 800 units each. I'll probably end up selling this and the Mordite, even though they're not really that valuable. I don't need them anytime soon. The dioxide I would use to recharge my life support. See, sodium and sodium nitrate recharge my hazard protection. And carbon and dihydrogen are just kind of wild cards right now. Let's see, let me move the rusted metal out of there and put the carbon there, because carbon is something I will end up using a lot of. Let's see, my starship's pretty much good. I do want to... Now, later on you can buy more slots. They get progressively more expensive to do. But you can buy more slots for just about everything. The exosuit is one of the hardest. You can only like buy one slot every space station. Other than that, you have to find drop pods to upgrade it. Okay, we're fully recharged. Let me hop out here and just scan around a bit with the visor and see if there's anything I missed. Okay, that finished. I can go ahead and put it on the next stage. See if there's any question marks around here. And usually you can just scan over stuff pretty quickly and see. Actually, let me see if I've harvested. I don't think I've harvested that sweet root, so let me head up there. And I am missing 3 animals, 1 ground animal, and 2 undergrounds. It'd be nice to be able to find all of the creatures before you leave a planet, but that's not always, especially when you're on the early stages of the Awakenings quest, because a lot of the stuff you want to do is kind of gated by the quest. You have to advance the quest to a certain point to be able to do certain things, like say base. Creating your base, creating certain things for your base, accessing certain things like the mission NPCs. And I believe that has run out of fuel. Yeah, if it's... No, it's still running. If it's red, it has stuff to process. If it's green, it is completed. And if it's red and it's not running, it has run out of fuel. But yeah, it's got about 30 seconds left, and it probably doesn't have that much fuel, so I'm going to have to add some carbon. I don't want to... Yeah, I'll just add all that. Because when I pick this back up, I will get all the remaining fuel back. But if it was condensed carbon, it would return it to me as just regular carbon. Yeah, about 10 more seconds, and we'll have this left done and able to convert to... nanites. And that goes by fairly quickly. It takes 5 at a time and gives you 1 nanite for it. But yeah, taking it all the way from the goop all the way to nanites takes a bit of time, but this is time you could be doing something else. Because while you're on this screen or on a pause screen and it's still running, you could be, say, taking a break to eat, or stepping away, or taking care of something else, or even just browsing the internet. And I have a bunch of rusted metal to refine. I'm going to go ahead and start on that, and I'm going to step out for a smoke, and I'll resume recording when I get back. Okay, I've done all my refining and run the thing out of fuel, even though I'd get it back when I picked it up. One thing more I wanted to show you is while you can make dihydrogen jelly in your inventory with 40 dihydrogen, you could put it in here, and it takes 30 to make a dihydrogen jelly, but each one takes 2 minutes. So if you had the time ahead of time, you know, just to prepare some dihydrogen jelly, you could use your refiner to do it. Otherwise, it's quicker just to do it in your inventory. But we're going to pick this back up and hop in our ship. And now they want us to seek answers among the stars and take off. But we're going to do that next episode. And one more thing I wanted to show you is once you have access to your ship, you can save the game at any time. Just by hopping out of your ship, it's auto-saves. So that's a good way if you have to step away or, you know, basically stop playing. Just once you're at your ship, hop in and hop back out. Auto-saves, you can easily quit. But thank you all for watching. And if y'all are interested in seeing more, just let me know in the comments or leave a like. And we'll see you next time, hopefully.